Ihahua.
Ihahua.
La 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 la.
Ihahua.
We may. Hey. It's Don't Worry Wednesday.
Hi.
How's it going?
Welcome.
You guys are great.
Great. Yeah.
And we're semicolon Ive. Mm-hmm.
And there. I'm guessing that's supposed to be short for
Typing is
CH.
also hard.
Chive. I believe
The
that's
language
chive.
changed. The language has changed, matey.
The language. Yes, that's real language, guys. That's real language if you want to know. Which language? No, just
It's
real language.
Real language, also known as gibberish. It's fantastic. You should try it.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially when telemarketers call or you get political phone calls. It's great to speak gibberish.
Wow.
There's a tip from me.
Wow, that's pretty good. I hope you're well practiced and can sound consistent in your gibberish.
Yeah. It's not
I've
easy.
heard some gibberish that is pretty clearly gibberish, and then there's other gibberish that quite convincing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to Don't Worry Wednesday. It's our Wednesday show. And
that's right.
You know what? It's doggone Wednesday. Well, at least it is here. Where Ryan is, it's Thursday. And that's just the way it is. So, yeah.
So there you have it.
That's it.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
thanks for
letting us grace your screens and whatever screens it is that whether it's a phone or a computer,
and audio devices
or a smart TV or I was about to say an iPod, but I don't think that
a ventilation tube with electronics that somehow casts the vision.
Yes. Thank you
with radio waves.
Having us on your internet enabled device. That thing. Yes. All right. So yeah, this is a show that's all about you guys, your topics, the topics you send us to don'tworrywednesday.com. You can go there, click the submit a topic button, and fill out the form and fill out your topic, and we'd be happy to talk about it. Or if you want, you can send us topics right here in the chat. We'd be happy to field them from there. You can send us messages on Discord, but it might be a little bit before we get back. Well, at least for my sake. I used to be pretty active and pretty on top of things when it came to Discord. I'm not so much anymore, and I feel kind of bad. So any of you guys who have messaged me on Discord and I haven't responded for like a week, I apologize. It's just it's busy times. But anyway,
yeah, it is very busy times.
Yeah, so here we are, and this is our show. And we're not professional counselors. We're not professional attorneys. We're not professional police officers or anything like that. We just we want to be your friend. We want to help in any way we possibly can. We want to help unpack whatever it is you might be struggling with, whatever you might be going through. Or even, if you got something that you're happy about or joyful about or whatever, we'd be happy to talk about that too. Or if it's even off the wall, crazy, weird stuff, we're happy to do that as well. We'll talk about just about anything on this show. Let's try and keep it family friendly.
Yeah,
relatively.
Thank you, Hero.
We look 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm 5 again. I'm so excited.
Yeah, we're 5, but with facial hair. That's all.
Yeah. Yep. I decided I'm actually going the opposite direction now. I've been 29 forever. Now I am 54.
Whoa. That's quick. That was a jump.
Yep.
54.
Yep.
Wow.
I'm 54 years old. So
what are you gonna do with all that?
With all what?
That's a lot.
I skipped over a whole bunch of years all at once.
Yeah.
It was so great.
You got a backstory for that?
No, my backstory is a mystery.
Wow.
I'm mysterious.
Dang. That's a wow.
Oh man, imagine having to start from 5 again. I can. Oh my gosh, that'd be. I don't want to go
No.
back to that. I don't want to
No,
go
I
through
don't
all
want to do
that again.
that. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, 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 no.
This took me a long time to get to 54.
It took me a long time to get here, and I'd rather not do it again. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So,
was hmm.
yep. I'm glad to be where I'm at and past a lot of the things I'm past, and looking forward to a lot of the things I'm looking forward to. So, yeah, it's a good spot to be. I hope you guys are in a good spot as well in your lives. But if not, feel free to
Mm-hmm.
share. We'd be happy to talk about that. If yeah, anything. If you guys want to talk about whatever, we'd be happy to talk about it. We got some topics that we can go through here, but we're always looking for you guys to send us more. So go ahead and go to don'tworrywednesday.com, click the submit a topic button, and fill it out, and then we'd be happy to do your topic. So dang, it's great to be here. This is like my favorite time of the week.
Hmm. It's always really awesome to be
I mean,
here.
for one, I get to spend time with Ryan,
Hi.
and that alone makes it one of my most favoriteest times of the week, right?
Aw,
Because it's like hanging
so
out with
kind.
Ryan, and
Mm.
um,
I really like hanging out with Joe, so it's a pretty good deal for me.
yeah,
It works out pretty well.
we got a pretty good deal going on here. We get to hang out with
Yeah.
each other, and
Mm-hmm.
we're like two of our favoriteest people. Wait,
That's that's pretty true.
did I say that right? Maybe not. I don't know. Whatever.
I suppose you could take that as like I'm also my favorite person.
I'm not though. That's the thing.
That's why I was like, I don't think I was.
Dude. I'm so annoying to myself. Like I
Oh,
follow myself around everywhere. I have to wipe the guy's butt, and like seriously, terrible.
yeah,
I
I
have to
know.
do his laundry for him.
Oh, wow, you do that for him?
Yep.
Jeez, you're nice. You're very nice.
I know. I know.
You're very nice to him.
Yep.
Because man, the guy I'm working with, like, he's not very good with the laundry thing.
It's not very good with the laundry.
No, not very good with that. Mainly because the laundry is not in our house, and so I have to
Oh,
go
you gotta go.
to
You gotta
somebody
go
else's house to do
somewhere
the
else.
laundry, and
Oh.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and the laundry machine is cursed.
It's
So
cursed.
yeah,
It's a cursed laundry machine.
yeah, it's broken down on a great number of occasions and tore up some clothes of mine and etc. So
Mm-hmm.
hmm
It
it
makes our
makes our
clothes
clothes
more dirty
more
and
dirty and
broken.
broken.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's like, do we do laundry or do we just stay dirty? And then he was like, okay, we'll do laundry. It's been a long time. And then it's like, it looks more dirty. It looks more dirty than when I put it in. I don't understand.
I mean, you can just do the smell check, right? And just be like, so
Yeah. Yeah,
does
it smells okay.
does it make them smell better
Yes,
to do the
yes. It does
laundry?
make
It
them
just
smell better.
looks more dirty.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I do the smell check from time to time on the clothes. You know, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I need to wear this. Let's see. Oh, that'll work. That's okay. I didn't sweat too much in that.
Yeah. I think we've all been there.
The magic
Oh,
of
eucalyptus spray.
eucalyptus spray.
Why that could be a solution. It doesn't keep the clothes clean, but it does make them smell good, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just has more physical junk visibly on it. Yes, because the laundry machine, it's a top down and it doesn't do anything with all the lint except for just spread it around your clothes, and all the little fuzzes from other shirts and stuff just all spread and tie themselves into your clothes in random spots. So then you pull it out and you've got a bunch of like your black shirt has a bunch of white dots on it and your white shirt has a bunch of black dots on it.
Oh.
Not that you even do those together. You separate them out and you're getting someone else's dust from like 4 washes ago.
Oh my gosh.
Tied into your shirt. So there's
Wow.
nothing you can do about it.
I wonder what it would be like if you ran the washer empty.
Hmm.
I wonder if that would like flush any of that stuff out.
That's not a bad idea. I don't know.
I don't know. Just pour acid in there, man. You do that
Yeah,
50%
acid
of
solves
the
most
time.
things. Mm-hmm.
I was working with acid like a week ago. It was super
Mm-hmm.
fun. It brought me back to my days of being an instrument repairman, and
Oh, that's right.
I
Yeah.
was working with acid like nonstop,
Mm-hmm.
cleaning horns, and like we were doing that at the shop, and I was like, oh yeah, smell those, that
Mm.
hydrochloric acid smell. You know, it kind of
Mm-hmm.
it burns you, all going all the way down your nostril. Not that I'm ingesting
Advocate.
it, right? It's just the fumes,
Oh,
right?
right.
Don't drink the
Yeah.
stuff ever. Um,
And try not to smell it if you have the opportunity.
yeah, like breathing it is
If
not
you have the choice.
necessarily all that great for you, right? But it's just like every
Mm-hmm.
once in a while. And then, man, I'll tell you what, you get that on your skin and it's really quick. You know it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Super Billy just says, I poured vinegar, baking soda, and everything down there and ran it 3 times before putting clothes in there. It doesn't matter.
Yes. It's a smart idea. Yes, because you smart. You, man,
Which is
you
why I
are
thought of it
smart.
before, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm smart. You are a smart one.
Yes, smarty pants. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, how's everybody doing tonight? You guys look great in the chat. I'll tell you what.
Sorry, I interrupted you with the chemicals. Did you have anything you wanted to say about that? The
Who?
acid? You.
No, I was just talking. I was just
Oh, okay.
saying, okay, here, be careful if you
Oh,
ever use
yeah.
acid.
Mm-hmm. That's right. No matter what kind it is.
It can clean metal really, really nicely in a
Mm-hmm.
lot of cases. But you also have to then, get rid of it quickly, or else a lot of times it'll rust what you're working on if you don't get it off of there.
I like that green stuff that shines silver.
Is it like
That
is it a
removes.
liquid?
Yeah, it's a liquid, but it's almost a paste. But it's a liquid.
Mm.
It's just not a very, what's the word? Viscous liquid? Or is it extra viscous? Whatever it is, it moves a little slow. But it's green and you polish silver with it, and it like literally you'll have a black fork and you'll just take this stuff and you go, and then it's like, wow,
Mm.
it's silver.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. That took like no time at all. This stuff is good.
Mm.
And it's actually okay to get in your hands too.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's not like dangerous.
Mm.
I don't know what it is. I don't know how it works, but it works.
Probably avoid eating it. You can help it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah, you wash your fork after you're done or whatever you cleaned. Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Most things you don't eat. Most things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
most cleaners do not eat household cleansers.
that's right.
That's a tip.
It's a good tip. That's a tip, guys. Good one. Here's some life hacks for you. Don't eat bleach.
Yes. That is a good life hack.
Uh-huh.
Tide Pods. Oh,
Yeah.
for cleaning the dishes.
Yes, for the dishes. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Some of
Mm-hmm.
those though, man, they make your. I'll tell you what. There are some detergents out there that make your dishes taste like the detergent. So you get a glass of water, and your water tastes like the dishwashing detergent.
That's yeah. No. No, thank you.
Is there a link to the Discord somewhere? I've had trouble with the BSS site submissions. To you looking for the Static P Friends Discord server? Are you not on there, Kishin?
Yeah. Well,
We
that's
don't have a Don't Worry Wednesday Discord.
with a BSS site submission.
That's
Link
my
to a
washer
Discord.
problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want me to pull up that link? Do you want which link do you want? Do you want the Static P Friends link? Or do you want The pleb
Yeah,
place?
the Static P Discord.
Okay. Well, let's do that.
All right. Yeah, you
Um,
able to get that?
yeah.
All right,
Here,
cool.
this one expires in like
You
7
can
minutes, but
change the
you'll be able to click
expiration.
on it in time. Yeah, I don't need to.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
Ah, you pruned servers. You pruned them.
Mm.
Hey, August, welcome.
Hey, August. Nice to see ya.
Glad you made it from class.
Yeah, I'm happy you're here too.
Mm-hmm.
Happy that you are here.
Mm-hmm.
But so the website you said is broken?
Kitchen said have had trouble with BSS site submissions. So,
Hmm.
have you gone to don'tworrywednesday.com or were you going to the old like bss.studio? Oh, it's issues with the phone. Okay, gotcha. Right on.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Gotcha, buddy. Um,
Mm-hmm.
all right. Well,
Are
cool.
you, is it Apple or is it Android? Doesn't matter. Can't help you either way. Don't know why I asked. I was just
No, it's
asking
because you were
for
asking because if they had the wrong one, you were gonna scold them.
no,
No,
it's
if they had
just
the right one, you were gonna applaud them.
yeah. Android, it didn't like the submission link Lul.
Well,
Okay.
at least you got the right phone.
Yeah, at least you got the one that tends to work with websites. Um, that's interesting. You might try a different you might just try a different browser on your phone and see if that works, but other than that, I don't have anything for you.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of using Google Chrome, you could get like the one that actually has the Edge. Firefox. No, I'm kidding. So you thought I was gonna say Edge.
I thought you were gonna say Edge. It's like, wait a second, the one that has the Edge, Firefox. Do people still use Firefox?
I use Firefox on my computer. I don't use it on my phone though. I don't even know if they
Oh,
have a phone version.
okay.
I know that Opera is pretty good. I really like Firefox. Always have. But yeah.
I think you can get Edge on your Google phone.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a Microsoft phone to have Edge
Mhm.
on it. You can get the Edge app.
Although if
Have that
something's
as
not working
browser.
in your browser, probably should get Opera and not Edge because Edge actually just runs off with the same code that Google does.
Okay.
But Opera runs its own code. And Firefox does too, so you could also use Firefox. But I don't even know. I'm sure they have a phone one, but I don't know if they do. Firefox works with BSS. Cool.
That's how we
Um,
built it.
yeah,
We built it to
I
work
like
with Firefox.
it.
That was
That was the
because we
sole
thought,
purpose of building the website.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Does it?
Yeah. You thought it was for making topics and stuff.
Nope.
Shame on you.
It was to weed out
Thinking
the
under
people who don't use Firefox, which is me.
Uh-huh. That's right. So, see you later, Joe. You kicked out of the show as the host.
Where should you put a submission? Actually, if you're gonna put a submission for today, where would you
You
put a
could
submission on the
message.
static P? You could DM either one of us.
Yeah, you can just send us a message. Um, you should be able to find me in the server list if you don't already have me. I'm pretty sure you have me, but I feel like we spoke on Discord before.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you can just send me or Joe a message, and we'll communicate it back and forth to each other, whatever's needed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Or here's another spot you can go to. You can also send us an email. We haven't talked about this in
That's
forever,
right.
man.
Oh,
We got an
wow.
email address too. We got dww@bss.studio.
Yes. And
dww@bss.studio is our
mm-hmm.
email. And yeah, we used to get messages from time to time, topics through there.
Mm-hmm.
We use that mainly because to help people remain anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
But now with our system through our website, if someone's anonymous, we can't even see who sent it. A lot of times,
That's right.
we'd have to say, hey, if you want to be anonymous, just let us know and keep it anonymous, whatever, just put that in there. But we would always
Mm-hmm.
know who it was. But now we don't even know. Now it's anonymous even to us when it goes through
Yes.
the don'tworrywednesday.com website, which is kind of, then it's truly, truly anonymous. And we don't even know. So,
Yeah.
keeps us
I
on our
got you, by the
toes
way.
that way.
I got your friend request. There you go. There's a little wave, dude. The
Oh, the little, yeah,
little wavy guy.
whatever creature that is, the Discord animal.
Yeah, it's a. Oh, I just realized. I think it's supposed to be a depiction of a koala. This whole time I had no idea what it is, but I was like
It's a koala.
looking at it. I think it's a koala.
Got a leaf on its head,
Yeah,
and it's purple, blue,
yeah, blue.
bluish
It's got a
purple.
big nose, and the nose is lighter color than the rest of the body. It's got its small body, a weird shaped head, but that's just whatever.
Uh-huh.
I think the leaf is a eucalyptus leaf. It's got a bite out of it.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I
maybe
think it's a
you're right.
koala.
Maybe you're right. All right. Could very well be.
I don't know.
Ryan's usually right.
I guess. I don't know about that, but
Ryan's
I mean,
usually
I
right,
try to be.
unless he's
I try
talking to
to.
his brother.
That's right. Then my brother's always right.
Exactly.
Uh-huh. Unless I'm right on occasion, and well, that's always a day.
Yep. It's fun.
That's a good day. That's a good day when that's the day.
Yes.
Everybody
it's
wins.
it's hilarious because I said this dude, this Discord dude is purple, right? But then I
Mm-hmm.
had to second guess myself because I found out that my computer does this weird stuff, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I was playing Overwatch and I got a new skin in the battle pass for Sigma, and he shoots balls, right? Like these
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
right? And so this new skin had pink. They were pink. His balls. This is gonna sound bad no matter which way I said it.
Which kind of pink?
His weapon was pink. It
Which
was
pink?
like this bright pink. It showed up
But was
bright
it
pink on my screen, and I was in a VC,
okay?
and I was streaming. I was sharing my screen, and I was in a VC with Riku, and Riku says that those are purple.
Right. Well, that's why I asked you what kind of pink.
What? Because it's like it
I'm
doesn't
okay.
seem. It does. It's like okay.
Is it magenta?
No, it was like pink.
So it was like when you mix red and white together, not when you mix red and white and blue.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like that. It
Interesting.
was totally
Yeah.
pink. Because this,
Well, monitors
when I look
do.
look at our screen here, the Don't Worry
Mhm.
Wednesday
Yeah,
screen.
yeah.
That's purple, right?
Yes. Yes.
That stuff's all purple.
Uh-huh.
Hot pink is bright magenta, not actually pink. Well, it
Yeah.
wasn't like hot pink. It was just bright pink. And
Okay.
so, and then Riku's telling me, no, that's purple. And I'm like, no, it's pink. Like, look. And then, like, I sent a screenshot. She's like, what are you looking at on your screen? And so I sent a screenshot. And that also, was like pink to
Yeah.
me. And then she's like, no, it's purple. And I'm like, it's pink. And
Mhm.
we had this argument, no, it's pink.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, it's purple. And so then
Yeah.
what we finally figured out, okay, so I have blue blocker glasses.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And my screen is like
Mhm.
always in night mode, so it blocks the blue light, like it's got filters and whatever, and it adds, orange or, tan,
Mhm.
whatever to it.
Okay.
And so we were thinking that
Okay.
double effect is actually supposed to be purple, but because my screen does its thing and then my glasses also,
Okay.
it takes the blue
Fair.
out.
Yeah. Okay. That would do it. I guess that'd do it. You know, computer monitors are known for not displaying all colors accurately, and so they have really expensive computer monitors that you can get, which are called True Color, or they have a couple different names, but um, yeah, they show more colors than other computers can show, and so they have like if you ever look at a gradient on your computer and you see like this looks like one color here and then a next color and then the next color, but on a True Color monitor you can actually see a lot more of the different shades in between, and you can see some colors that you can't see in other computers, such as certain shades of red and purple. But I doubt she has a True Color monitor. It's probably the glasses thing.
Maybe I just need new monitors.
Maybe.
But the ones I have work, and
Yeah.
whatever. So if the
Yeah, well,
worst
you're
thing
not
that
doing-
happens
you're
is
not
we have
doing-
a minor dispute over whether
Whether
it's
the track
pink
is purple or pink. I think
Right.
it's not a big deal.
Right, we
Yeah.
can get over that, and it can turn
I
into a
guess-
fun story.
The only occasion where it becomes a problem is like I'm telling you like, yeah, blah 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 on this song, it's the purple track. And you're like, I don't see a purple track, or you click on one that's just deep blue or something. I suppose that's the only way I can think of that would be a problem.
Yep. I mean, if my blue screen of death ends up being like gray, then I'll be like, okay, maybe it's time for a monitor. I don't know.
Yeah, your blue screen of death. I got the
According
gray
to the
screen of death,
Googliest
guys.
Googleton Google, Sigma throws two gravitic balls of matter called hyperspheres. Yes, the hyperspheres were pink.
That's right. That's right.
You don't use the orange light thing at nighttime, right? I use that and everything looks normal to me. My brother says it looks like the inside of an orange. No. It's like a Microsoft setting, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
It's something I set up in Microsoft, and so it does add kind of a little bit of an orange tint, but I think what it's doing is it's taking out blue, and so what you're left with is more orange, I think. But yeah, I don't use the orange light thing. But at least I don't think I do, unless that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, unless they're the same thing.
Yeah.
Which we would never know because we can't see pink or purple or orange.
Right. Well, I don't know. Whatever.
Okay.
It's what it is. So anyway, hey, so it's great to be here. You guys are awesome. What do you say we do a topic?
Hey. I say we do.
Before I do that, how are you doing, Brian? Now that you're taking a drink of your is that coffee?
I'm doing. Yes.
Oh, I like coffee.
Is it allowed to be?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
doing great.
What? Is it allowed?
I don't know. I'm just making things interesting, Joe.
No, you're not allowed to
yes.
drink coffee.
I am doing great. I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you doing?
Fabulous. Wonderful.
How you doing, guys? August celebration. Wait. Yeah, Kishin.
Kishin, Kawaii, Super Neon Blue.
Oh, quite. Yeah. Hero.
If you guys are all still here.
Yeah.
Anyone else
Zay,
who's here?
if you're still here, and you guys lurking in the chat, or not in the chat, but just lurking.
Yeah. If you're lurking, just say it out loud how you're doing.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Hey, you've got energy and less homesickness today, so looking forward to playing some games.
Wow.
Sweet, man.
That's great. When you get home. Awesome. Yeah, I can understand that. First time been away from home for a long time, so homesickness is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of people get homesick.
Do you get
But
homesick?
you're going through it, so you're doing good. Huh? Me?
Do you get homesick?
I've never been homesick.
Never been homesick?
No, I've never been homesick. My brain, for some reason, doesn't have that in it.
Interesting.
But other people do, so
Mm-hmm.
I recognize it's a thing.
It's very true.
Never been homesick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've been homesick maybe once
Yeah.
when I went away to camp for like a week when I was like 10.
Mm.
And I think it was the first time I'd been away. But then it was weird though because it was like, we had such a fun time and then I was from then on I was looking forward to leaving home cuz I had a good experience at camp.
Yeah. Well, I
Right?
guess what's it mean to be homesick? Because there's probably a billion times that I'm like, I'd rather be at home than where I am right now.
Mm.
And if that's what homesick is, um, then then in like almost infinite amount of times have I been homesick.
Mm.
Because most of the time I'm just like, yeah, I'd rather be home. You know,
Yeah.
it's nice to be home. It's
August
where I
says
where I get most of my work done. It's where I get most of my play done. It's where I get most of my family stuff done. It's where I get most of the joy in my life comes from my home. So yeah.
Mhm.
But I've never moved away and felt homesick in such a way that I was like, I wish I hadn't moved, or I wish I was home in that way. Like, yeah. So I
Mm.
don't know.
Well, August says it was extremely debilitating the first week and a half. Now it lingers with its
Okay.
moments.
Yeah, see,
Uh,
that's what I think of when I hear homesick, like a debilitating sort of experience. So, yeah, I've never experienced that, luckily. Maybe someday I will, but
mhm.
I hope not.
Yeah. Well, I hope it gets better. I hope it continues to
Yeah,
get better.
continues to get better. Yeah.
And you'll feel much better. And yeah, the more you look at things as kind of an adventure, I find that that just
Mm-hmm.
makes me feel a little bit better about my surroundings, whatever it is that I'm in. Even if
Yeah,
I'm even if
it's
I'm stuck
energizing.
in traffic and I got to do all this like crazy weird stuff, I'll try and figure out how to
Hmm.
turn that into an adventure.
Yeah, yeah, that actually works a lot. Works really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that mind frame. Cool.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, you guys are awesome. We're gonna jump into a topic.
Yes,
I think that'd be a great idea.
sounds good.
Um, what do we have? We got some topics here. Have we gotten any new ones? Nope.
Okay,
All right.
we've got anonymous. Oh, we might as well start with the very bottom one, and then we can go anywhere from there.
And the very bottom one, is that urgent?
It's not urgent, but it is not
Oh yeah,
a
yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
long topic.
Okay. Yeah, we'll start with this one. This is from Anonymous. This is actually titled "Thank You." Um, and I will put it up on the screen. Dun-dun-dun, in just a second.
Dun-dun-dun.
Dun-dun-dun-dun. Bonk. There we go. All
Dun-ba-da-dun.
right. This is
There it
entitled
is.
"Thank You," and it's from Anonymous. It says, "Update to keeping my family together. A while back, I was struggling with my parents and having divorce brought up. Well, I can say, thanks to your advice, excuse me, things have been getting better in my family, slowly but surely. My parents are going on dates once a month and going to a counselor. As for
Hmm.
me, I feel a weight has been lifted from me in my responsibilities and my feeling responsible for their happiness. Granted, I'm still wanting to make them happy and keep them happy, but it's easier to deal with those emotions now. So all this being said, thank you." And
That's so lovely.
that is awesome. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Anonymous, for it's always great to hear feedback. It's always great to hear how
Yeah.
things are going, especially when because
Especially when it's
we
good.
yeah well, even if it's not, and if we can
Even
be
if it's
of
not, it's still
further
nice to hear.
further
Yeah.
assistance, it's nice to hear how things are progressing, and because
Mm-hmm.
we'll give advice and we'll give suggestions, but we never really know. Like I get advice all the
Mm-hmm.
time from people that I don't follow. right?
Sure.
Because
Yeah.
really, you you can't always just follow all the advice you get from everybody. You got to
Mm-hmm.
kind of run it through your situation and see if it's going to fit and whatever. But if something that we say can help and it
Yeah.
does, man, it's such a blessing to us
Yeah.
to know that it makes a difference. And
Mm-hmm.
so you are most welcome. and
Yeah.
and thank you
Thank you.
for
Thank you.
coming back and telling us, giving us an update,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm glad things
Thank
are
you for
getting better.
making life better in this world for at least yourself and probably the people around you. Well, I'm sure that for sure.
Hmm.
So, like whenever we help anybody out, it's helping the world out, and that's how you make a good world for everybody to live in. So,
Hmm.
um, thank you as well.
Hmm.
But yeah, we're really happy to hear that it's going better.
Yeah. I mean, because you never
Hmm.
know. Like, you've heard of the thing called the ripple effect, right? You never know how
Hmm.
far one little action that you make might just ripple out and do all kinds of things. And we stand here and we talk based on, we got information from all kinds of different sources. So that we're just kind of
Hmm.
continuing the ripple effect from sources that
Yeah,
we've
it's
gotten
true.
information from and continuing it ongoing. So we have
Hmm.
this live stream where we have we don't have a very big audience usually, and that's great. We like it that way.
Hmm.
Keeps things intimate. It keeps things, where we can be a little bit more personal. We can
Hmm.
actually read the chat as it
Hmm.
goes.
Yes, yes.
Instead of, I've seen live streams where the chat's just going so fast, and it's like, how would you even keep up? You'd need to have like 3 people monitoring that or 6 people monitoring that, and
Yes. Yeah.
like keeping an eye on it. But
Hmm.
yeah, it's great to hear that, just those little moments where something we may have said makes a good difference. So
Hmm.
that means a lot. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
And thank you, Super Neon Blue. We have
Hmm.
apparently we have great advice and have a good impact on our viewers. And for you to see that and think that means a lot. So thank you. Um
Yeah.
but anyway, yeah, so
I
let this be a lesson to anyone who we've done your topic.
let it be a lesson.
We
Yes.
like hearing how it's going.
Yeah.
You've been told and pointed at.
Oh, what now? What now?
With a fistful of
What now,
oats.
son? Right in the kisser.
Right in the kisser. Arr. All right. Awesome. Well, all right. Ah, Kishin. Kishin says, y'all have always had great advice. I've been watching since junior high. Junior high?
Wow.
Wow.
I remember those times. Jeez, Kishan, you're so old.
You are old.
I'm just kidding.
You're almost as old as me.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah, jeez.
I just skipped
Turned
how many
54?
years? Now I'm 54. I was 29
Wow.
for decades, forever, and now I just
Well, perpetually in both directions, you were 29.
yeah,
Always.
now I'm 54.
Wow. I don't know how you did that.
Yeah.
That's like you breaking time with this one. Time like time continuum has been completely shattered on this one.
All time is now.
All time is now, yes. What a statement.
I mean, you only live in now, right?
What is live?
What is what is
Well, yeah. Wow. I literally used that quote yesterday. I was talking to Jesse, and we were talking about just the course of politics over the many years that we've lived, um and before, and yeah, Bill Clinton got brought up, so what
mm.
is came up.
Yes. That's great.
Yeah.
Um All right, so we have a topic here. Oh wow, Hero.
Wow, Hero, I love you, man. You're
You
awesome.
yeah. We've been
Thank
doing
you,
this
guys.
show
You
for
so
a
lovely.
while.
Yeah, yeah.
You're making
It's
me
great.
feel old.
Oh,
um all right, yeah. So looks like we just got a topic from Kishin.
mm-hmm.
How do we want to handle this? Do we want to like make a topic so we can put it on the screen, or should I just like read it?
I think it's probably fine if you just read it.
Okay. All right. And then yeah. Okay. So maybe we'll just do that. So Kishin, since you're here and you've got this topic,
Mm-hmm.
we'll do that one now. What do you think? Is that
Mm-hmm.
is that cool?
Yeah, yeah. And just a question, if Darkwing is here, since they would be the next person that's present,
Mm-hmm.
let us know. If you're not, that's totally great. We've got plenty of other ones, especially a couple that are anonymous, so we can absolutely get to any of those. So
Yep.
and should.
Yes, yes. Yeah, call out to Darkwing. Darkwing, if you're here,
Raise your hand. Oh
raise
wait,
your
we can't.
hand.
And then lower your hand onto your computer keyboard, and then press some buttons, and then slide it over and press the button that looks like an arrow or enter, depending on your keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's not very good advice. There's a lot of arrows. Anyways, raise your hand and then put it down on your keyboard. Type some things and press enter.
Yes,
Thanks.
that will be great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kishin, mad respect for anyone in grad school. Probably will be you
Mm-hmm.
soon, huh? You're gonna go to grad school?
Ah, wow.
Gonna go get some more
Yeah.
edumacation?
This stuff's hard. Stuff's
Ooh, a
well, it's not
DMA and percussion.
nice.
Whoa, dude.
Wow.
All right. So you're gonna be really good.
That's it. Yep.
One of many options. Right on. So are you
Mm-hmm.
so you're about to graduate. Are you a percussion major now? Get good or get dead. Haha. Yes. So are you when you graduate, will you be a percussion major? Actually, maybe your topic talks about this. Music ed major. Okay, cool. Right on, man.
Mm. Cool.
We need music educators for sure. We
Yes,
need
we
good
do.
ones.
There's a lot of not good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I have anyone to point fingers at, because I was very, very, very lucky
Mm-hmm.
in my school, but others were not as
I've met
fortunate.
some interesting ones for sure.
Hmm.
Most.
Well, that's not true. I did have some that were not very good, but they were only there for a couple of years.
Mhm.
So
Gotcha.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's good to have
which is a blessing.
good music teacher, whether it's band or
Hmm.
choir or orchestra or whatever.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, someone who can infuse
yeah.
the love of music and help people understand how beautiful
Hmm.
it is and how wonderful it can be. And really, it does help to be involved in the arts.
Hmm.
Performing arts especially helps with so many different things. Yeah, it's great. Keep the pedagogic genealogy going. Right on.
Nice.
Right
Yeah,
on.
that's great, Hero. Wow. Hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, let's read this topic.
All right, we'll do it. So we've got a topic here from Kishin. I'm not going to put it up on the screen. I'm just going to read it because we got it in a Discord message. Uh, and yeah, then maybe we'll come up with some kind of a summary we can put in the box for you, so you can
Mm-hmm.
We can keep it up there. But anyway, all right. So this is from Kishin, and it reads as follows: Coming to terms with the fact that healthy does not mean happy, or more accurately, satisfied. I
Mm.
knew this would happen. Over the summer, I got to make leaps and bounds as a person. Traveling Mexico and Brazil on my own gave me so much more confidence, and immediately after coming home, I helped move a friend, driving through about a quarter of the states in the process. Then,
Mm-hmm.
inevitably, real life starts again. But it's not real life, it's college. College is such a bubble, and I can feel myself gravitating toward those old bad habits, but I can't just leave, lol. I've got a little longer to go. Not to say I have returned to all those same habits. I'm going home early, cooking at home, eating right, spending less, working out, and practicing more. But I've never
Wow.
quite felt this sort of isolated. All this being healthy means I'm having very little time for anything social, and beyond that, I just have a hard time connecting with most people in college now, even teachers. Most people here haven't experienced a world where parents or the government don't constantly give them money, or they've been stuck in academia so long they forget how much exists outside that. In addition, every couple weeks I have a night or three where everything just hits. One of my friends, or most of my friends, are graduated. I've got no clue if I'll have a job or what I'm doing after this. And I know so many friends who graduated only to sit in their room and read job rejection emails for months or even years. Worst of all, the thing I have the least confidence in is my ability to stick with something. What if I don't enjoy the next thing enough and burn out even faster? I'm well aware I haven't lived enough to truly estimate my own ability to stick with a job for 5, 10, or 30 years, but I'm getting to a point where at least some sort of decision is necessary. Not that I expect a 5-year commitment. I'm just getting tired. And
Well
that
put.
is from Kishin. Yes, very well put. Man, I'll tell you what,
Very well.
I applaud you. You said you've got better habits now. You've got more healthy habits as far as,
Mm-hmm.
you're spending less money, you're you
That's
know,
good.
you're eating better, you're
Mm-hmm.
exercising, you're doing all this kind of stuff. That's great. You're doing a great job as far as your self-care is concerned. And yes, I understand, as you're getting into this, you're about to graduate college. So this is your senior. Are you graduating this semester or in the spring? Would
Mm.
be my question. Um, so I mean, not that it's like super important. I'm just curious. Um, but yeah, how it's pretty wild. Like the college environment, it is kind of a bubble, like you said.
Yeah,
There's
yeah, I absolutely right about that. Yeah.
mm,
Well said.
it's not really the real world. It's kind of like a step between high school and the real world, and there's this whole culture involved with college, and it changes over time. But it's really a powerful it's a powerful age group, the college kids. You find
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people that age have a lot of energy. There People will protest, people will do all kinds of
Mm-hmm.
stuff. It can get kind of crazy. So and but then after a while, you kind of figure out, well, I can kind of chill out a little bit. I don't have to be quite so energetic about some of that stuff. um Kitchen says it'll be 5 years. I have a year of classes and then a year of student teaching after this. Right on. Okay. Um. So yeah, man. Well, congratulations. You're on the home stretch, as far
Mm-hmm.
as this is concerned, and I'm really glad that some of your decisions to be healthier are in place. Um. But I definitely understand the getting tired part. It can be grueling, especially if you're, as you go and you get more advanced classes and they get harder and you've got theses to do, all kinds of stuff. It can get intense. So, um, I feel you, but Oh, also, I'm a massive jack of all trades, so when I talk about making a
Mm.
decision, it's not limited by my interests, but more by the negative inherent in every job. LOL. That's an
Respect
interesting
that.
point. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
That's a really, really good point. And I've heard, and I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna turn over to Ryan. If when you're deciding what kind of job you want, you're deciding what kind of occupation you're looking for, everything's going to have problems. Everything's going to have issues. Everything's going to have, negative stuff with it, right? So, a lot of times people will look at getting a job or going into a profession and they'll think in terms of what would I like to do with my life? That's great. That's a great place to start. But everything comes with baggage and everything comes with problems. So, another good question to ask yourself is what kind of problems would I like to be solving? What kind of problems can I handle solving? What kind of are there
Hmm.
problems out there that I just don't want to have to deal with? And that would be a profession to stay away from. So, if you can look at it in terms of the negative side of things, look at it in terms of the problems you're going to have to solve, then if you can get into something where you will be good at or at least have an acceptable set of problems to solve, that might be a good place to go toward. Um, so, with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ryan and see what he has to say because I'm very interested in that. So, Ryan, take it away, man.
Thank you, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right off of what you just said, I suppose another way you could look at that too is what kind of problems do you want to solve?
Mm-hmm.
Like because in this lifetime you're going to be solving problems, and that's going to be your job, and that's going to be a good thing, and it's going to be rewarding. What kind of things do you see in this world that you think ought to be solved? And that can be also something that can help you guide you. So I think both sides of that coin are um, worth looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I really like how you started. I mean, this whole everything you wrote here is really great and very well put and very real. Very very honest look at the world. And you said coming to terms with the fact that healthy does not mean happy, or more accurately, satisfied. Um, and that's how you started your topic here, and that is a very important thing to look at for all of this. I think grand perspective matters a lot. Um, and grand perspective is part of what makes us satisfied or dissatisfied. Um, it's interesting how the virtues come to play in this manner. Happiness, like you said, is not necessarily being healthy. And that's true for where you go with your job. If you're looking at getting a job and you don't know, you're you're about to run the ringer where you don't even know if you're going to get a job, and you're just waiting for people to respond, and you hope you get a job in a field that you think is valuable, and you want to be able to do all of that,
Mm-hmm.
and you find yourself in a position where you recognize that, hey, I might get a job, but only work it for a year and get laid off, or I work it for like 3 months and I find out, nah, this is not something I want to be doing with my life, or this is bad business, and I better get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
There's all sorts of different things that can happen, and so when you aren't making your own job and you're relying on other jobs that already exist to employ you, you put yourself in that position. And I'm not necessarily suggesting that you go out and make your own job for yourself, though that is an option, especially as someone who is a jack of all trades. Jack of all trades people are usually needed. You need to be a jack of all trades kind of guy if you're going to be running your own business, but I'm not really even recommending that. So uh, all of that kind of still boils down to the same thing, and that is um, being happy, or more accurately, satisfied. Um, you know, you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot of good things, and you're you're being very active towards your health, and that's important. But happiness, a lot of times, I think, in my experience, comes from well, it comes from peace. And peace is an interesting thing because I think peace is more important than being happy. Because happiness, the word happy, the word happiness comes from the word hap. And if you trace it back, it's the same word that we use for happenstance. The etymology for happy goes to the root of lucky, basically. It just happened, right? Happened. It happened out of nowhere. It happened by chance. It happened. Happened shares the same root as happenstance and happy, right? So for the ancient world, happy was something that you didn't have control over. But even if you do, like, that's the thing. I think it's important to try. But happiness a lot of times comes from the level of satisfaction you have with the world around you. And I remember I was, I don't know, a couple of years out of college, 3, 2, something like that. And I had thought about happiness and realized that yes, it is happiness in a lot of cases is to be satisfied, whether it's a intense form of satisfaction where things are just really exciting and fun and so on and so forth, and everything's going your way or whatever, or it could be happy just out of a principle, like I'm just a happy person, I choose to be. And you can be that kind of person. The thing about happiness is that it's an emotion. And what do we know about emotions is that they aren't necessarily reality, they're responses.
Mm-hmm.
They're subconscious responses. Emotions are responses to the world around us. And some of that world around us is ourselves. And so we can be happy with ourselves. We can be pleased with ourselves. That's an emotion.
Mm-hmm.
If you seek after happiness, and that's kind of the funny thing about the pursuit of happiness and the way that we understand that phrase, or rather the way we fail to understand that phrase. If you seek after happiness, in a way, you're putting the cart before the horse.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't need everything to be in order for you to be happy. And you also might not have the ability to choose to be happy. And so to chase after happiness puts yourself in a position where it's like you're waiting for something to happen. And then so that you can be motivated, right? Because when we're motivated, we would generally say, I'm happy, right? It's a good feeling.
Mm-hmm.
If you wait to be motivated before you do anything, you're putting the cart before the horse, because it's the act of doing things or the experiences of things happening in life that motivate you. So if you're just waiting around, waiting for something to motivate you, you're putting the most important thing on the wrong end of the objective.
Mm-hmm.
You're waiting for something to happen rather than just doing it. Now, Kishan, I'm not saying you're waiting around doing nothing. Obviously, you're not. That's not my point. My point is to show that it is the same sort of deal as motivation. It's such that happiness is an emotion. It is something that a lot of us can't control. Some of us can. Some of us can choose to be happy no matter what is going on in the world around us. But that's because we're reacting to or whatever's in our brain instead of whatever's going on in the world around us.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you get something bad in that person's brain, they just can't be happy no matter what goes on in the world around them.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes both ways. That's kind of how that's the difference between outgoing or reserved, or extroverted versus introverted, right? That's the two personality situations that those well define, whether you live your life in your head or outside. And whether the outside world makes you happy or the inside does. And obviously everybody's a bit of both. So take that how you will. All of this being said, what's the point of all of this? Well, if you want to be happy, I think that's great. And I think it's important to get things in line, but also to recognize that happiness isn't really what you want. Happiness isn't really what you want. Because what I see here is you looking at the future. What I see here is you looking at the present and looking at the future and going, things aren't necessarily how I want them. No, not quite. Things aren't necessarily under my control.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they were your way, they'd be different. You know, you're currently stuck at college, let's say, and you're doing a lot that is under your control. You're being healthy. You're doing a lot of good things. You recognize the culture around you and that it's different from you, and that's important. But you also realize that because of it, you're now kind of distant from your college friends, or it's hard to make college friends. So in other words, you're saying I'd rather have college friends, which means I'm not, which is basically comes back to I'm not in control of the things I want. I don't have the things I want. And I don't mean to criticize you or say like you're childish, because you're not. But this is something that we all have to remember is whether things are the way we want them to be or not, whether we are happy or not, we can always do the main thing, right? The main thing might not be the same thing for you as it is for me, but for me, there's a couple of things that are the main thing. And the main thing for me is not necessarily happiness. When I put things that matter in front of my happiness, you know what happens? I generally find myself being happy. But even more so, I generally find myself being satisfied even when I'm not happy. But even when I'm unsatisfied, there's that other thing that exists that is there. And that thing that exists that is there makes neither happiness nor satisfaction matter. It doesn't matter at all. You know, there are times in life where things will get crappy and you will not be able to be happy and you'll not be able to be satisfied with yourself or with the world around you, with your position. And in those occasions, it's okay to relinquish that control and recognize, like, not everything needs to go my way in order for life to be worth living and for life to be good and for me to be a source of good in this world. And just because things aren't going my way doesn't mean that things are going badly. That is important to learn, and I think that requires humility and patience, and being being willing to yeah, relinquish that control, I suppose. There's a sense of thankfulness and wherever you are, that you are where you are, and that sort of feeling is important.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't said what it is yet, but I have. But the thing that I find trumps happiness and satisfaction is peace.
Mm-hmm.
And peace is that rare gem that we all seek after but never find, most of us. And if we find it, we only find it for a moment. But peace is something that is like a virtue. And that's kind of weird. But it is something that can be attained and kept. And it can be held on to. You can be at peace in the middle of a war. You can be at peace in the middle of a intense fight with another person.
Mm-hmm.
You can be at peace when you're looking at the prospect of what's ahead of you and you're like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm at peace. And so um um here's here's what I have to say about all of this, and that is, it's great. It's really important that you're trying to be healthy. You're cooking at home, eating right. That's good. You're creating good habits. You find yourself getting, maybe um, some of your habits are going away, but you're doing your best. Um, but peace, I think peace is probably what you're after more than happiness. You said it's kind of frustrating doing the things that maybe should make you happy, but you can't be for whatever reason. Yeah, you can't be for whatever reason. Yeah, yeah. I incidentally, I'm a big fan of C.S. Lewis' explanation of happiness. If you've read it, I think your descriptions are quite similar. I believe happiness is seeing progress in my life, but peace, I'm not sure if that's something I want right now. Since to some degree, I don't want to look at my life and say, it's fine this way. Here's the thing. In order for you to utilize peace effectively, you need to love yourself effectively. Peace comes through humility. And humility is understanding yourself in the right lens. And is understanding the world around you. It's understanding the value of the things around you and the value of different things you can do. Humility, a lot of times in this world, is used as a way to say, put yourself beneath everybody. But that's not what humility is. My point in all of this is, I understand what you just said. You don't necessarily want peace because you feel like if you had peace, then you wouldn't have a drive.
Mm-hmm.
But being at peace, just simply in this case, means you recognize that no matter what happens, good or bad, it's good, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know that good can be made from it. You know you have the ability to make good of these things. You have the, like, even if things go wrong and you're like, well, I can't make good on that. You know goodness exists. And for me, that's God. God brings me peace. But I don't know what it's going to be for you. If you don't believe in God, then it might be something else. But to recognize that good exists, to have that sense of faith, is where peace comes from. Peace comes from faith. And faith doesn't necessarily have to be a religious term.
Mm-hmm.
Faith means, the word faith means to have such trust or respect. It's a form of trust and respect, which means you have, like, some people have faith in science, let's say. And it's a weird place to put your faith because it's ever growing and changing. But at the same time, you trust that when you mix two certain chemicals, you'll always get this one reaction, right? As long as the environment is a perfect environment, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You trust that when you play your instrument or you bang on your drums, that they'll produce the sound that you have trained yourself to produce from them. That's a notion of faith. That means you trust what's going to happen. You trust what is. When you're anxious and you don't know, and that dissatisfies you, when you're anxious because you don't have things that you want to have, or things aren't going in the direction you want them to go in, or you're just uncertain, that's a lack of faith in that's a lack of faith in reality and lack of faith of self. So what I'm asking from you is, have some faith in yourself. And if you believe in God, have some faith in God. Because that's where peace comes from. It comes from, in a way, humility. But if you have faith in yourself, with that faith, your drive will then probably not only increase, but also be able to be directed to something that's useful. Because your faith in yourself will help you to recognize who you are and where you want to go. And it will stop you from having moments where you're like, where you start and then you stop because you're like unsure. You're unsure of yourself. So you have to have some faith in yourself. You have to trust yourself a little bit. You have to rely. Faith means to rely on the trust of something. Okay. So it's to trust so much as to rely. So when people say they have faith in God, it means they trust God so much so as to rely on God for things in their life. Right? That it doesn't, a lot of times in common use of the word faith, people use it to mean a belief where they don't know the truth, so they're just hoping. But that's not what faith is. So what I would say is have faith in yourself and your ability to accomplish. And that will be more important than happiness and being satisfied. Because you can be unsatisfied with yourself, but if you have faith in yourself, you can use that unsatisfaction to bring about an insane amount of good. But if you're unsatisfied with yourself and you do not have faith in yourself, you will take that satisfaction, or that lack of satisfaction, and destroy yourself with it. And it's the same thing with happiness. And I think it's the same thing for all of the things you put in here. If you are in a position where you're worried about your habits, you're worried about where you're going to be in the next 5 years or whatever, you're worried about this fact that you have all of these talents, but you don't have a direction perfectly laid out. All of these things are worries. And worry is basically just another word for fear of the future. And all that fear comes from not having faith in yourself and not having faith in God. So if you want that kind of peace, the kind of peace that allows you to be yourself, regardless of what's going on, the kind of peace that compels you to do good in the world, that compels you on your way, the kind of peace that no matter what hits you, you can be collected, then faith is what you need. And faith is the virtue, I would say, to seek after here. And I just took a really long time to explain that. And I know that part of it was me trying to find the right words, because it's a difficult thing, and it's not something that is really talked about, but it's something that I think is really important. So yeah, have some faith. Have some faith in yourself, and you've already got enough faith in yourself. I mean, here's the thing. You went out and you did all these awesome things. You went to Mexico and you've done, I mean, you're going through college. That's ridiculously hard. And you are living a life that is different than the people you experienced in your college. You're doing all these things to stay healthy. All of this is great. It's so awesome. And so you've already shown you've got faith in yourself to take action here. Because if you didn't have faith in yourself at all, you wouldn't have gone out to Mexico, let's say, by yourself and done all that. If you didn't have faith in yourself at all, you wouldn't even begin your journey towards better health. So you've already got faith. I guess all I'm saying is continue to grow that virtue. Because it seems to me like this is what happened to me. This is what I see. You came face to face with the virtue of faith. And you utilized it and you were good at it. But because of the nature of it, it allowed you to see where you don't have faith, where you are lacking. You know, it's funny because as you grow in any virtue, you come face to face with the reality that you could be better in it. The more you learn of it, the more you start to recognize there are areas where you need to expand. And so by the act of you going out into Mexico and Brazil on your own and that giving you this confidence in yourself, it's because of that confidence that you inspired within yourself that you started to notice all these other things around you in such a way that you feel like you needed to make a post about it. Those might have been in the back of your head before, but now they're
Mm-hmm.
really in your foremind because there's this contention now. You know what is good and you see what is, and you're like, I experienced this virtue, and now I see I'm lacking here, but you don't necessarily know that's what's going on. We've all been there. We've all been there in many different ways. And so I could be misdiagnosing you. I'm not a therapist, and I could be wrong about things, but from my perspective, the way that I'm looking at this, and reading into it, it seems to me that you had some insight into confidence, and that confidence made you look at the whole world around you, and it called you out for where you're not confident.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you have a clear vision of what confidence is. And you experienced it firsthand, so now you know what it is, right? That confidence is the virtue of faith. And this is the faith of your faith in yourself, faith in the world, faith in what can be, faith in God, faith. The ability to trust so as to rely and to act accordingly. And that's it. That's what I got. And I hope that that's helpful, even though it's really, it feels probably non-tangible.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not like I gave you, this is what you need to do. These are the thoughts you need to have. I'm giving you the overarching problem because you're going to address that better than I can tell you how to address it. You've already started to address it. So I'm just saying, keep running down that lane and keep on addressing it and grow strong there. And that's, I think you'll find all the answers you're looking for. You're already on the road. And the reason that you're experiencing this at this moment is because you're on that road. So basically what I'm saying is keep pushing through, man. You're doing good. You're doing everything right. That's what I got to say. And if the more you have faith, the more you rely, the more you find yourself, it's much easier to be satisfied with everything and be happy with everything, because that is just a matter of perspective. And if you believe, oh, in the end, it works out. Not that we need to be overly positive about everything because things don't work out, but regardless, when people think things are going to work out for them, they're just happy. And I'm not saying that's not a pill I'm trying to give you. The reality is not everything's going to work out. Be satisfied anyways. So, and that requires faith. Faith not in a way that means you're hoping for something good, but faith that means you're trusting and relying on yourself and God enough that you can go forward anyways against all odds, because that is what makes a man who is feeling very alive and awesome. And that's what you really, really want, probably. But anyways, yep, sorry, I said I was done, but now I really am done. Joe, take it away.
I was like, keep going. You're spouting good stuff here, man. Like, keep it going. But no, that was wonderful, and I love that you took that approach, Ryan, to this, because there is so much more. When you look at college, and you look at what it's there, what we're told it's there to do, all that kind of stuff. We go to college, and then we're supposed to get a job, and then you're seeing this. You have in your topic here, most of my friends are graduated. I've got no clue if I'll have a job or what I'm doing after this. And I know so many friends who graduated only to sit in their room and read job rejection emails for months or even years. And
sorry for your friends. That's rough.
It is rough. But I don't blame your friends. I blame the system.
Right. Of course.
And I blame the belief that, like, this is the track that is normal, that you're supposed to you go to college. I did everything. I stayed on track. I went to high school, and then I went to college, and I did the things that they told me to do. And then they told me when I get out, I need to get a job, and that the job would be there if I got the education. And then I get the education, and I get out, and the job's not there. So then it's like, what? So I did all this stuff and like all these things, and I followed it right to the T. You know, I followed their instructions. But they who promote this plan to you, they have an out. It's not their fault that it didn't work. It's not that the system's flawed. It's not that the system's wrong. It's not that the system is, forgive me, a lie. It's not that. It's that you must not have had good enough grades, or you didn't get your degree in the right field, or you blah blah, and then they can turn it around and make it your fault that you didn't get a job like they said you were going to if you followed this course. But it happens so much. I see, you're seeing it. So many friends that go through this, and I'm not saying this to discourage you by any means, okay? I know it might sound discouraging. And I'm not telling you to quit college. I'm thinking keep going. Finish. Because seriously, it's better if you can get in the habit of finishing. If that's the only thing you get out of college, is just the fact that you finished and you set up a habit of finishing the things you start. That's valuable.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm going to put a book link in here in the chat for you, if it will fit. Let's see. Will it go? No, it won't go. It's too long. There's a book. Look up the book of joy. Look that up on Amazon. I know there's a way to get a shortened link to share, but I was looking at the Amazon.
Joy is a really good word, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's very different from happiness, but joy is awesome.
Yep. This is a book by the Dalai Lama and Bishop Desmond Tutu. So you have a Buddhist, the Dalai Lama, like he's the top Buddhist monk, the leader. And then you have Archbishop. He's an archbishop, actually. I think he died, but he was an archbishop, an Anglican archbishop. And these guys were like super great friends. One guy's from I think he was from China and then got exiled, and then he ended up in Mongolia or Nepal or something. I don't know. He ended up somewhere. Oh, you own a copy. Huh? Cool. Good.
That's awesome.
They also put out a movie that I watched. So I've read the book and I've watched the movie, and they had an impact on me when I was going through things. But that can give you some perspective on, all right, because you talked about I'm doing these things. It's frustrating doing the things that maybe should make you happy, but you can't be for whatever reason. Because sometimes we think that happiness should come as a result of me doing these things. But what Ryan was talking about, a lot of times if we pursue happiness, that's getting the cart before the horse, right? And he's so right. Because happiness, first of all, it's an emotion. And emotions come and go like the weather. They come and go. This too shall pass.
You don't want to make emotions your personal bank, because you will lose all your money eventually. It's not something that will stick around. Yeah.
Right. In fact, like just recently, it was so crazy. Like for the first time in forever that I can remember, like the other day, I had a time. It was like a few hours span where I just felt good about life, about everything going on, I just felt good about it. It's been a long journey of crazy in my life. And I finally had this time where everything just felt good. And I was like, I felt happy. I felt like things were going good. I didn't have it. I mean, I'm broke, like we've got a business, we're in debt, there's all kinds of stuff going on. Whereas, by the numbers, maybe I shouldn't be happy. But, like we've got forward-looking plans, all this kind of stuff. And it felt good. And I remember in the middle of that, I was like, wait a minute, this is going to pass because it's an emotion. Because it always does. Like the good and the bad. Like emotions pass.
Soak it up while you have
Exactly.
it.
Exactly. And so like that's
And
what
move
I
on.
that's what I resolved to do. It was just like, wait, so it's going to pass. So what? I'm going to just relish this while I'm here. And lean into it. Lean into that feeling good sensation, which I was hoping that you were doing while you were traveling. You went to Mexico, Brazil, went across the country, all this stuff. Like you can relish in that enjoyment.
Mm-hmm.
And it will pass. But here's the like when we're not in having a happy emotion, when we're having a crummy one, we're stressed out or we're feeling, we're upset about something or we're hurt, we tend to
Mm-hmm.
not lean into those emotions. We tend to try and resist them. And I would encourage you when you have those emotions, don't resist them. Understand that they're temporary and lean into them. Dig deep into them. Drink deeply of whatever the emotion is that you're feeling, especially if it's a powerful one. And get out of it what it's there for.
Mm.
Because those difficult times are there to build us. This time that you're going through where you're having trouble figuring it out, you're not sure what to do and you're tired. You may be feeling socially disconnected, and that's hard. But if you can lean in and talk with yourself and be like, this is happening to me to build me. It's
Mm.
happening so I can get stronger. It's like exercise. You're exercising. You know that when you're in the middle of a tough workout, it's not generally pleasant. A lot of times it
That's not the
hurts
time. Yeah.
and it's a
That's right.
strain, right? But when you're in it, you're pushing. And if you've been doing it for a little while and you've got the habit of exercising, when you're in the middle of your workout and it's painful and it hurts, you're like, yeah, let's go. Let's push. Let's make it happen. I can remember doing that when I was doing Krav Maga and I was getting beat to a pulp and like exhausted. And I'm like, this is crazy. But like it had gotten to the point where it had gotten to be a habit to be in that state of exhaustion and in some kind of fight, sparring, not I guess I
Mm-hmm.
should say, because we had protective gear on and it was not like we were trying to hurt each other, but it was
Yeah.
still,
Right.
like we were training. And so, but like, it had become a habit of feeling exhausted and in a fight, always on guard, trying to defend and attack and all this kind of stuff. Like, it, even though it hurt and it was tiring, it felt joyful.
Mm. Yeah. That makes sense.
It's like working out. You're straining, you're pushing, you're having a hard time, you're trying to lift this weight and you're trying to get a personal best or whatever, and it hurts. And it's hard and you're sweating and you're trying to not get injured. But there's joy. And it's because you know what it's working you toward. Embrace the burn. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Embrace the burn.
We have to embrace a lot of things here and Don't Worry Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Embrace the awkward, embrace the boredom, embrace the burn.
And I would say also embrace the negative emotions that you feel. When you're stressed, when you're at your wits' end, when you're tired, all these kinds of things that we go through. Remember that it's temporary. Maybe you need to remind yourself that it's temporary. And then make a decision in that moment to embrace it. Embrace the boredom is an important one. Yep. Because from boredom gives birth to creativity.
And which is odd because boredom also gives birth to motivation. If Because if you're never bored, your mind can't create the chemicals necessary for motivation and things like that.
Boredom scares the crap out of me.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I understand. Well, I haven't been bored in forever. There have been times when I've not been doing anything. And I remember there was a business philosopher named Jim Rohn, and he said one time in a talk, he's like, I've developed the ability to feast on my own intellect.
Yes.
And so that, to me, like when we say pursue boredom, I would say pursue times when you're not really doing anything, but you're there. You're feasting on your intellect. You can dream. You can envision. You can imagine things for the future. You can envision how things can be. Maybe there's a problem that needs solved. You can envision how that problem can maybe be solved, different possibilities, all that stuff. And it's so crazy
word math.
because you can do what?
Word math.
Word math.
Yep. Yeah, math with words and stuff.
You can totally do that.
I don't know if it's useful,
but if you're into that, go for it. I mean, well, it can be useful because sometimes you got to calculate how an area is going to be set up. I mentioned before, we just started another business, a cabinet making company, and we're getting everything set up in there. And so there's calculations on everything, how we're going to set up the shop, where we're going to arrange each machine. And there's calculations of how far we need in between them so we can get in between them. Do we want to be able to push a cart in between them? Do we want more than one person working in this general area? And so how far do we need space? All of that stuff comes into play. And so there are a lot of times when we will just be standing there looking around doing nothing. But we're not doing nothing. We're calculating. We're envisioning. We're doing word math.
Yeah.
Right? I can't remember. Henry Ford. Henry Ford's got a bunch of quotes, right? That he's said, or at least had attributed to him, that have been really good. And I think, I feel like, thinking is one of the most difficult things you will ever do. And that's why so few people do it.
It's hard.
It is.
It's hard.
To think critically and to dive into a thought process and to embrace, that process. Like to be there is not easy. And not only that, if somebody catches you in that mode where you're not busy reading something or writing something or looking something up on a computer or watching TV or watching an event or doing something, you're just sitting there staring off into space, you might get some criticism. People aren't going to understand. But really what you're doing is you're doing some of the most difficult work that they aren't willing to do. Or they just don't know that there's any value in it.
Sure.
But there is. And these things can be super beneficial. Another thing is, as you go, so Ryan talked about no matter where your life ends up, happiness is an option, right? You can be happy doing whatever. And I will say one of the fastest routes to happiness is to do something for another person expecting
Mm-hmm.
nothing in return.
Absolutely agree with that.
To be of service in some way,
Mm-hmm.
shape, or form. It doesn't mean you
Yep.
have to go to the soup kitchen and serve homeless people, although you can, and that is very rewarding. Doesn't mean you have to go and, like do anything grandiose or whatever. It doesn't even have to cost
And
you
you have to,
anything.
yeah, and also you have to know that it supports something good.
Yeah, that's helpful too. It has to support
Yeah.
something you believe in being good. But I'll tell you, it could just be holding the door for somebody. It could just be holding the door at a gas station and smiling at somebody when they walk in
Mm-hmm.
and seeing if they say thank you. Or I had just this experience the other day. Like I was coming home from the shop and like the entrance to the expressway when right near our cabinet shop, it has a really really sharp curve. And like you gotta really slow down to like 30, like legit 30 miles an hour. Like not just that it's
Mm-hmm.
posted at 30, like you gotta be going 30 or less, or you're gonna, because it's really a sharp curve. And there was a van that had not been they had been going faster than that, and they had plowed off the side of the road into the weeds and whatever, and it was
Mm.
like they were off, and there was a ditch. They had gone through some water into this like field area,
Wow.
right? There were a bunch of little tiny small trees in there too, nothing big. So they and so I just stopped. It was like 1:30 or 2 in the morning because
Wow.
we pull like some really long hours there. And so it's the middle of the night, and there's this van off in the weeds, and I'm like, and there's nobody there helping them. Their hazards are on. I don't know what's going on. Like, did this just happen? Like, what? And so, and it's the middle of the night. How often are people driving by here? They might not have any help for a while. So I just stopped and I got out of my car and I walked across the exit, the entrance ramp, and like walked over there and kind of stood out there, and I could kind of see they had their interior lights on and both people were moving, which was a good sign. And I kind of started getting close, and the guy opened the door, and I just asked, "Hey, are you guys doing okay?" And he said, "Yeah, yeah, we're good. We got a tow truck coming, and the police are coming, and so like we'll be okay." I'm like, "Are you guys hurt or anything like that?" He's like, "No, no, we're good." So it's him and his girlfriend were in the car, and or
Mm.
well, him and his lady of some kind. I guess it could have been his sister. they're
Yeah. Okay.
they're roughly the same age, right? But anyway, um, and that experience alone just helps feel good. And I think now that I think about it, now that I put the puzzle pieces together, that might have been the in that time of when I was feeling really good with the world.
Mm.
Now that I think about it, I think that was that time. And that feeling lasted for a really long time. It was great. Um but little things like that, where you're just doing something to be kind
Mm-hmm.
or to be helpful or to have concern for somebody other than yourself. Because one of the keys to misery is self focus.
Absolutely true.
If you want to be miserable, be focused on yourself. If you want to experience more joy, you can have an outward focus. One where you're thinking about how other people are doing, how other people are feeling, if people are okay, all these different things, right? You can just, but your focus is out. When you do that, you will experience much less misery. Your stress level will go down. You'll develop a heart of compassion, because even when people are mean or rude or whatever, you can start to think of man, I bet maybe they're just having a really hard day right now. Who knows what happened in their life, in their lives, you know? But if you can look out and see the people around you and focus on service, focus on doing something not for yourself, that can really go a long way to helping you at least feel better in whatever situation you're in. Even if you're totally going broke, maybe you're just bleeding money and you're having trouble and you don't know how you're going to make ends meet. And it's super stressful. You can have a vacation from that stress by doing something of service to another person. There's something also before it gets buried in the chat. I do want to say, Super Neamlu said something that I really resonated with a lot, and that is, she says, I think that trying to figure out what you are going to do with your life can be a really abstract thing. It's more important to figure out what to do today. And I love
Mm-hmm.
that. I love that.
Absolutely.
Take it one day at a time.
Mm-hmm.
One day at a time. Because we can get so buried in all of our plans and futures and fears of the future and what if this doesn't work out the way I thought, what all that stuff. I have all those thoughts all the time. I don't know what's going to happen. We never know what's going to happen. You might start down a path and it might flop and then you're trying to figure something else out. Who knows? But if we start thinking in terms of what that could be all the time, we will just absolutely be paralyzed. At least I will. I know that's one way to paralyze myself, is to start thinking of all the bad things that could happen.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely.
You know? But if I can just focus on what am I doing right now?
Mm-hmm.
What am I doing today? Well, I got this phone call to make. I got to send this email out. I got to go in and, do some cleaning. I got to whatever, like I got to practice. I got to record whatever. If I can start thinking in terms of that and just the immediate, that really helps to, stave off being paralyzed. And it does another thing. It gets me in motion, thinking about, okay, I've got to do this. Now let's get started. And then I start doing it. And then I'm in motion and I'm going and I'm doing something. And that becomes a habit of taking action. And taking action when you're working, I remember it said, when you're working hard, nobody can touch you. You got critics, you got whoever, you got whatever going on. You're working hard, all that, you're almost bulletproof. And it's awesome. So, Kishan says, "Oh, hey Ash, how's it going?
Hi, Ash.
Good to see you." Kishan says, "Embracing non-critical thinking is the hard part. LOL. Being empathetic to people who haven't critically thought through things the way I have. To be clear, difference in perspective. Not I'm smarter."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on your break, Ash.
Yeah. It's great to see
Hope
you.
you're having a great work day.
Mm-hmm. So embracing non-critical thinking is the hard part. But so I'm guessing you're saying being empathetic to people who haven't critically thought through things is easier? Maybe? I don't know. Anyway.
I think they mean to say it's difficult to put up with people who aren't thinking critically.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
I'm guessing that's what Kish is saying.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, yeah.
We're doing great. Thank you, Ash. Thank you.
Yeah, and please do make a topic. We'd love to have your topic.
Mm-hmm.
We've done a fair amount of your topics. Your topics are great.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Indeed.
so at any rate, Kishan, I understand the stress. I understand the strain. I understand the fear. I understand all that. You're gonna be okay though. It's gonna be. You're gonna survive. If I had any idea all the twists and turns and loops and everything my life was gonna do, I I would have told you were nuts if you'd told me all the things I was gonna live through.
Ah, you live through all this.
you're gonna
Nah, mate.
you're gonna go there. It's
Nah.
like, no, man. I'm gonna go on this track and it's gonna be perfect and everything's gonna line up right. Or no, you're gonna get knocked off track. You're gonna have this crazy marriage situation. You're gonna have blah 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 whatever. You're gonna have like you're gonna start all these businesses, and some of them are gonna do great, and some of them are gonna suck, and whatever, right? Our life generally goes through a lot of unexpectedness. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Because through it all, you can experience joy, and you can experience like what Ryan was talking about, peace. And the peace that he's talking about isn't laziness. Because I remember you said in there that you said in the chat, Kishan, um, you don't want peace right now because you don't want to look at your life and say it's fine this way, right? And maybe fall into some kind of contentment or laziness, right? That's not the peace that Ryan's referring to, because you can, and I think you guys, between Hero and everybody, you guys kind of got that figured out, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
I'm not where I want to be yet, but it's fine that I'm not there right now. Yeah, and you can be at peace with yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Ash, I'm sorry, it's not going to be a happy one.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right.
oh yeah, big difference between peace and complacency. Hmm. But I
Mm-hmm.
understand also, because when all things feel right with the world, I get nervous
Ah,
because I'm like, I'm missing something. Like something isn't right.
something's gonna hurt me real quick, and it's gonna be really painful
Now I
or
feel like
something.
I'm off guard or
I
something.
see. Yeah, that doesn't happen to me, luckily, but I totally get it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But you can be at peace amidst the storm.
Mm-hmm.
Inside, you can be at peace, and outwardly, you can look calm, collected, have all the composure in the world
Mm-hmm.
in the
And
midst of
also
a
be
bunch of crazy.
perform that way,
And
so
also
that you
what?
perform logically and also be able to perform that way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so like when everything's going, when the poop hits the fan, you find yourself a reliable companion to encounter the uh, the winds, whatever, yeah, wherever that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, you find yourself a worthy companion to take on that journey of solving the problems because you have peace and you find that you're still capable of operating, and you know that it's like, I think, Beyonce was saying something similar, and you were as well. What's important, like the journey is important, of course. Oh, see ya. I don't know who you're waiting to. Oh, Hero.
Hero.
Oh, thanks for being here, Hero. You're
Yep.
awesome.
See you later, Hero.
The
And
the
thanks for
journey
putting
is
the dab
important,
in there
of course.
too. I appreciate the dab.
Hmm. And we can try to plan it out and stuff, but it isn't the planning, nor necessarily even the journey, that makes the man, right? It's who that man is every step of the way. It's like if you want to be, and I'm just going to go here because it's a good example. If you want to be a man who is holy, and people look at you and say, that is a holy person, like, what does that look like? It's not created through the act of planning everything out and creating this grand adventure for yourself, or avoiding or avoiding bad decisions. It's created by people see the way you walk. People see the way you act in every scenario as a holy man, right? And it, again, I'm just using it as an example, but that's everywhere. You could be a virtuous person, or you could be someone who's very strong, or very patient with people, or peaceful, or very whatever. It's more so how you act in the moment of every moment. And the cool thing about that is when you figure out who you want to be and you just be that in every moment. So whenever the opportunity arises to do this thing or that, you pick the decision based on who you've decided you want to be as a human being. Life is so much easier because faith is so much easier and peace is so much easier because there's no anxiety over which option's the right option, in terms of like the goodness of my being. And you're like, oh, I already got that solved. I just have to act this way in this scenario. And you do. And then like you find yourself always on the right track. It's like, you can try to be a great person. You can try to be someone that everyone says that was a great, because they did a lot of great deeds. And that does require planning. But usually someone who's revered as great is someone who just decided to be great over and over and over. And that's how they lived. And what's really cool about that is instead of getting lost, it doesn't, like, people ask, like, how do you know the right path? Where do you, like, I don't know what to do in life. What's the right path for me? How do I solve these questions? And the answer is stop looking at the world that you be the best you. The opportunities will supply themselves, and you pick the opportunities when they come that are the best you. And if you do that, it doesn't matter what comes. It really doesn't. You've already made the man that will always make the best of every path. And that's what you need to be. And that's the kind of, like, that's where you need to put your faith. You have made the man in yourself that will make the path that will always be great, always be good, always choose the right options. And then you don't have to worry about what options are coming. You just have to wait for them to come. And that's pretty great because you're always doing something anyways. And sometimes something will come along and you'll be like, no, I'm going to pass on that. And some things will come along and be like, that's worth the venture. And so, instead of living my life trying to figure out, what the best thing is to do all the time, for my future, I find great peace and an abundance of faith in just going, it's not about the journey that I make for myself. It's about the path it's about living the path, and the path will be made for me. It's about being the man that I need to be. And when I'm the man I need to be, everything is good. Everything is right. Everything is right in the world. And I think that's kind of partially, when you're talking about, Joe, when you went out and you helped those people, even if you didn't even help them, you went to go check up on them, right? There's this essence of, you didn't plan the journey. You weren't worried about what was going to happen sometime before. You were just in that moment being the man you were made. And when you do that and you execute that, And you walk away and you look in hindsight, there's that experience of joy that you get from being the man you were made to be. You're like, I get to be that man.
Mm-hmm.
I get to be that man in the world who gets to be like, that's so beautiful and awesome. And that is such a great feeling. And it's a experience of joy. And it's like pure joy. And so really, it's not about what come. It is important to try to make the world around you better and understand the future.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, plans will always change
Mm-hmm.
constantly.
True.
It's better to be the best man you can be than to worry about making the best future you can make. Because the best man you can be will make the best future for you.
Mm-hmm.
That future is the experience of being the man you're made to be, or woman, or whatever, obviously. By man, I just mean human.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think that's really it. Um, that leads to that kind of peace and faith, the virtue of faith that I mean to portray.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That is reality, as I see it.
Mm.
Like
Yeah, I
who
think so
who
too.
you are is that's key. That's like number one priority.
Yeah, and it's not like you're the number one priority above anybody else. The thing is, who you are is your number one priority because that's the main thing you get to choose in life.
Mm-hmm.
And so you decide who that is and you carry that out every moment of the day.
Yeah. Isn't it funny? This is another way that the system has failed us because the whole system is telling us like the most important thing is what you're gonna do with your life.
Sure.
You know?
Mm,
It's like
yeah,
who
but
you
really the
are
most
is
important thing is
just
what kind of
yeah.
person you are
Yeah, that's the
and
most
how you
important. Because you can
the
do
world
just
is
about
waiting for
anything.
you. Yeah, the world is waiting for you to interact with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole different setup than we're given through the system, I suppose you could say. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The
Or the
world is waiting for
world.
you. The world is waiting for you to enter it and be you and do what you're going to do in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the reality.
And to
So,
be you that's doing it.
mm, yeah.
Because you are going to do it in a way that only you can.
Hmm.
And you're going to have an impact on those around you the only way that you can.
Right. And it's going to feel good.
And that's valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you got to see Inside Out too? I want to see that movie.
Oh,
I liked the first
that's
one.
cute.
Um, my favorite character on the Inside Out movie was Disgust, the green chick.
Was it? That's great. Yeah,
She's
that's fun.
hilarious. um yeah, no, that's cool. I think they introduced like anxiety or something in the new one or whatever. Like,
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I've only seen the first one.
yeah.
Got a little dark on me here. Here you go. Oh,
Oh man, that Australian light is not as
yeah.
bright. No, it's oh, I like what you're
Oh,
doing there. That's it's.
well, yeah. I just wanted to stay there. I'm literally just moving it. There we go. I'm just gonna keep it. There we go. That's pretty good. I'm
All
gonna put it
right, all
down.
right.
I'm moving a curtain around and trying to make the fabric stop
Oh, gotcha.
instead of
Okay.
flowing. Yeah.
Ellie, it's great to see you. Oh my gosh,
Uh huh.
welcome.
Yeah.
Even it
Thank
is the
you.
end, like we're kind of wrapping things up here, but
We
Kishan,
only did
thank
one
you.
topic, but that's okay.
No, we did two. We did the thank you one.
Oh, we did. Thank you. Yeah, that's right.
That was a
That's right.
short one, and we
Okay.
talked for a while at
Yeah.
the beginning too.
Thank you for saying thank you. That allowed us to feel good about doing two topics.
Yes.
Also, really, actually, thank you for saying thank you. That's so lovely.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yep. Hey,
Got
absolutely.
to go to work. Yes.
Get to work,
Yeah.
man. But I'll tell you, hey, I'm proud of you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of you. I know your name has popped up for a while
Mm-hmm.
here, and I'm
Yeah,
glad.
happy to
I'm
see and interact with you.
and really I'm glad for the life update too. I'm glad to hear
Yeah.
what's going on with you. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and so yeah,
Me too.
definitely keep in touch and let us know how things are going. We'd be happy
Yeah.
to if there's anything else we can help
Mm-hmm.
with, be happy to. And
Feel
but
free to listen to this again. It's really cool. You can take the internet with you nowadays. So
mhm,
I know that you got to get going. So there was a lot that we said,
mhm.
and maybe we only really said a little, but it was a lot. There's a lot in a little. So listen to it again. You might catch something, or at least be reminded of lifestyle choices that you really want to make.
Yeah. Yeah.
Potentially, maybe none of our advice is good, but we gave it our best, and I
Well,
think it's
your
cool.
advice was really good, Ryan, especially that part about who you are is so much more important.
Yeah, it is.
That
Who you are is more important.
mhm.
It's way
Yeah.
more important than
So
the job you get or anything really.
so when you go to work, be you at work.
Mm-hmm.
Put your own stank on it.
That's right.
Do it.
Get stanky.
Do it.
Do it.
Good.
Do it to it. Okay. I'll have to go back and listen. Yeah.
Hey, it was a good
Aw.
topic. Kishan's
Yeah.
had a great topic.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. I mean, I that's yeah. You're obviously more than welcome to rewind the tape and listen again. Um.
mhm.
Yeah. We're happy that that's possible.
Yep. So
Thanks, YouTube.
yes, thank you, YouTube. And thank you guys for being
Mm-hmm.
here. Thank you guys for hanging out with us on Don't Worry Wednesday. Thank you for um
Aw. Thanks,
thank
Ellie.
you.
It's awesome.
And yeah, come back next week on Wednesday. We're gonna be here again. We're gonna
Yeah.
do it all over again. Ryan's gonna have to wake up earlier, I think, because your clocks change this
Oh no,
weekend.
that is coming up. That's right. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Kawhi. It's pretty cool. I never thought I'd be doing it, but I like precision work. I like that kind of stuff, and I've never worked with wood
Mm-hmm.
much. I was always metal, but I'm excited to learn this new trade. And actually, tomorrow I'm having lunch. I'm actually going to a Bible study with a big group of
Oh, you're doing
entrepreneurs
that. Great.
from the area. Our landlord, the guy who's renting us our space and where we have our cabinet business, is he owns an electrician company, and he owns property management, and he owns a couple of restaurants, and he owns all kinds of stuff, right?
Wow.
But
That's great.
he started in as an electrician and has been an
Hmm.
entrepreneur since 1974. So how
Wow.
many years is that? 74 to 50 years? Yeah, he's been an
That sounds
entrepreneur
right.
for 50 years. And he's been
Hmm.
in this area, starting off in the trade of being an electrician. And so I'm really excited. I'm meeting him, and I'm actually getting to ride with him to this lunch where all these other business people, people in the trades, all kinds of stuff, they all have this Bible study lunch thing. It would be cool. Um, are we getting CNC? I don't think so. Not yet. Anyway. CNC, is that the software for like when you that then cuts the stuff out or whatever? Is that right? Ryan, you know what CNC,
Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. I can't remember because I never operated it. So,
the machine itself that does that? Okay. I don't think
okay.
so. Most of what we have are saws, shapers, sanders, and now a big, huge, huge, enormous paint booth.
I worked the field for a year, but I I wasn't intent on retaining any of it, let's say. And I also wasn't deep involved as much as Kyle and Kyle is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yep.
Yeah. That sounds interesting. I would like to get CNC. I would also like to get the laser etching stuff. I think that would
Oh,
be
that sounds
cool
cool.
to
That sounds really cool.
laser etch, into
Yeah.
designs into wood and everything like that. And we don't have a lathe either. I'd like to get a lathe. Um, yeah.
I just like to bathe.
You just like to bathe.
I like to bathe on a lake.
Okay, I see what you're saying, Kawhi. Yeah. Kawhi 8x4, whatever you want. Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, we
Mm.
don't have that. It sounds like it would be expensive, an expensive upgrade, and we'll see when we get to that point. It would be great. Um, but yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. We love you guys. We love spending this time with you, and we can't wait to do it again next week. So,
Mm.
you guys, take real good care of yourselves and enjoy your lives, even in the down times. And
Mm-hmm.
remember that emotions come and go like the weather. Remember that. I have to remind myself that all the time. That emotions
Mm-hmm.
come and go.
They do that.
And so when you're in a slump, it's temporary.
Emotions come and go, but you remain.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. And an emotion isn't you. It doesn't
That's
define
true.
who you are.
And
It's
demotion isn't even necessarily defining reality sometimes.
That's very also true.
I've had those emotions
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, why am I sad? No, nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I'm
Nothing
just
happened,
sad.
right? Why am I sad?
Do I
Okay,
need to
yeah, okay.
do I need to breathe air? Or do I need
Yeah.
to
Yeah. Or pride sets in and you're like frustrated for no good reason and
Yeah.
you're just like, that doesn't have to be real. Let's not be. Yeah. So it's emotions come and go.
They
Yeah.
do. They do. And they don't always reflect reality, and they don't define
hmm
you. They're an
But they are
experience.
important.
Yes.
They're an experience and they teach you about the reality you're in that and they tell you your own opinion on things.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we need to change our opinion. So sometimes an emotion is a good cue to be like, I need to get on track.
Yeah, that's very, very, very true. Listen to all these truisms right here at the end, man.
Yeah.
We're such truth
Yeah, deal with
talkers,
it.
man. I tell you what,
Oh
it's
yeah.
cool. But all right, hey, you guys, we'll see you next week on Don't Worry Wednesday. Until then, again, take care of yourselves, and we love you so much. And we'll see you next time on Don't Worry Wednesday. Take care, you guys.
Bye now. Peace.
Bye bye.